Film number 1 of today's episode is Hustlers, released September the 7th, 2019, directed by Lorene Scafaria. We had Constance Wu as Destiny, Jennifer Lopez as Ramona Vega, Julia Stiles as Elizabeth, and Lili Reinhart as Mercedes. Inspired by the viral New York Magazine article, Hustlers follows a crew of savvy former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Hey!
Kyle, were you entertained?
Yes.
Amari, were you entertained?
Yes.
Giles, were you entertained?
Yes.
Full House, I was entertained as well.
I thought you were going to say no.
I thought he was going to say no as well.
Yeah. Interesting. Why that? Why did you think that?
Because how the last 2 shows have gone.
Nah,
There's always been one.
all I'm gonna say, is that those opening 10 minutes music. If you like things that move, you should be entertained.
I second every word. Do you know what? No,
Yes.
I was gonna.
And I had that on my notes. I said this is the best opening scene I've ever seen in any film.
Now, I must have missed that. I must have got to the
Hold on, because you took it to another level.
Nth degree
Listen.
of
You took it to another level. No, but
Amazing.
But I know why. You was hungry in it. You was hungry.
Listen.
Carl's hungry in
It's
it.
like I'm just looking.
I got to the cinema late because I was doing my deliberate let me not. But it's fine because no, not at all. But I can already get the gist of what I probably missed.
Getting the
man.
gist and witnessing it. Two
No,
different
no, no,
things.
no.
Rewatching the
you
film.
need to watch it again.
Can I just say one thing? Can we just take 5 seconds for Jennifer Lopez, please? Jennifer Lopez appreciation.
No.
Yes.
As much as I'll have to agree with you.
Wait. Do you know why?
Sorry,
wait.
you're interrupting Jennifer Lopez.
Wait,
Nah, she's not great like that.
Wait,
But
let me
nah, she
finish.
is.
For her
Let me
age.
let me tell you why she's getting it. Let me
that.
tell you why she's getting it. Because I learned that she learned how to pole dance for the film.
Okay.
Alright? So when you learn how to do that, and you are doing double 8 split 5
Yeah,
twist,
I heard.
and I'm doing the dribble whilst I'm in the cinema, you are getting appreciation.
Well, to be fair, how old is Jennifer Lopez now?
She's 50.
She's
50.
not old.
That's amazing because if you think about, you said for the film she learned how to pole dance.
Yes.
She even learned how to act. which is great.
No, you never.
It's a shame, though. It's a shame. Whoa! It's a shame that it's taken her to get to 50 to realize that if you're doing something, you should learn how to do it.
No, respect
as
her.
opposed to
Respect
singing,
her in Made in Manhattan.
which she made it.
No,
Made in
respect it. Made in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Hey, she did a lot of things for me in Made in Manhattan.
Listen, I've been to Manhattan a few times. I'm glad she wasn't there.
Look, she did a lot of things.
To be honest with you,
Her acting
She's done a
skills.
couple of good films.
No, you said
good
couple.
films.
Yeah, out of sight.
Ooh?
Out of sight.
A good.
Don't know,
Outside.
but yeah.
Have you seen that?
I can
Yeah,
listen.
but you said good.
Listen, she's only
That's-
9 years older than
that's
me.
a four-star film.
She's. I'm not a fan of Jennifer Lopez, but
This is the
She
understand
did look
conversation underneath all these conversations.
for her age.
Who wants to get into the meat and potatoes?
All
of
I'm gonna
this
say is
discussion
that,
now?
all I'm gonna say, I have to worry about Nye. I'm just looking at that girl. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, she.
And you know what made it? It's the chinchilla coat. I was like,
Yeah, she did rock that well.
oh,
100%.
Diddy.
So, who's going to kick this off and get into the
Carl should.
the meat and potatoes of this conversation? Carl.
There is no meat and potatoes. There's just Jennifer.
No, there's
Lopez.
stuff we need to discuss. I mean, all right,
And
for
Keke-
example,
and Keke Palmer looking like I want to just lick.
but there's more.
No, there's nothing more to the film for me. I was finished there. I was good at that point. I don't even think I have any more things to say. I think I'm done for the review. There you go. That's mine. Done.
But you know what? Speaking of J-Lo, I did like the character that she portrayed. I mean, I was a bit skeptical watching this. I thought to myself, is it going to be another sort of like on the wall bit of a force? You see certain names, everyone's ranting and raving. Cardi B's in this, Lizzo's in this, and all this kind of stuff. So I thought, is it going to be a bit hokey? But I thought the storyline of this was actually good. And then obviously you've then gone on to say, go and do the research.
Did you do it?
I haven't yet. But obviously reading the synopsis and it said obviously off the New York article. So that makes me think, okay, this obviously, I mean, you've obviously read it, innit?
Yeah.
So give me a quick sort of rundown.
I mean, me going into this film, when I realised what it was about, I was like, I'm not going to like this. I'm not a fan of strippers and their art. I think to me, they're pointless.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of went in there and was like, yeah, this is not going to be for me. However, when I realised that there was a whole kind of backstory on, it wasn't just about the stripper game, but it was kind of like how they were hustling. Quintessentially, the Wall Street hustlers.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is deep. And then obviously, me admitting that I missed the beginning part, I can kind of guess what happened. But I like the fact that it was someone telling a story.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the
flashbacks and timeline jumps are always good.
Yeah, no, she narrated it really, really well.
Her narration, I did like. Brad Pitt's narration from Ad Astra, I didn't like.
You didn't like.
So this is like, it's a comparable thing in terms of she was telling a story about how it happens and what's going on and stuff like that. But I was like, all right, cool.
I didn't like that.
You didn't like the narration?
Nah, I didn't like, not necessarily the narration, but the back and forth, like with her being interviewed by the reporter. I didn't think it was necessary.
I have rude things to say.
You didn't think it was necessary for her
I have rude things to say about Julia Stiles. I'm not going to lie, but carry on.
She was just, I don't know what's happened to her career.
Hey, bruv, listen.
Nothing.
You just say,
Nothing's happened
you
to her
just
career.
saved The Last Dance, and you look like the premium poster white girl for black people, and then what are you now? Just a hag.
Hang on, I want to talk more about why you didn't like not liking the narration.
Yeah, I just didn't think, I guess it's not the narration, but I guess telling the story with the flashbacks with her talking to the reporter, I just didn't really think that was necessary.
But remember, this is based off of an article.
Yeah, so I get
of an interview that was turned into an article.
I get why they done it, because they want to give it that sort of authenticity. But I didn't really like it when they kept going back to, because I wasn't sure whether this was meant to be real or fake, or I didn't think it added any sort of value. I thought they could have told that story.
You're talking about the scenes when they cut back to
when they
them
cut
doing
back
the interview in the house.
Yeah, it didn't really add any value for me.
The reason why it added value, because the only time that it was present or kind of in that moment of the conversation was when I was talking about when she was like basically snitching so she can actually be with her daughter. That's the only time when it comes to the courts, when it came to an actual current timeline. The rest of it, you knew it was a flashback. Like even when she was talking about, oh, she did this for the money because she needed money, and there was no money. It was that it's a $300, no, $60. I was like,
And just to add to that, I actually, one of the reasons I liked the timeline sort of scenes was because very early on it kind of poses the question of, okay, so what's going to happen? So obviously, before you even told us the past,
you kind of knew that there was like you're at a point,
exactly,
and it's like, how do you get to that point?
Exactly. But the problem with that is, and one of the things I didn't like was then it didn't then lead anywhere. That's kind of, so when the film ends, obviously we'll get to that in a minute, but sort of when you're brought up to speed, so now the story she's telling, we're now in present day, it was kind of, I was thinking, okay, so the story's going to continue, like we're going to see what happens next, and then obviously that's where it ends.
But it's not, it's for me, it's not even about where it's going to continue, but I know, for instance, you're not locked up in jail. So when you're doing all these big hustles now, these big scams, I know there's no real big consequences because you're having this conversation.
You say this,
you didn't know whether anyone was going to go to jail though.
I don't know whether they were going to go to jail, but I know you didn't do no long time.
So doesn't mean you didn't lose what you didn't lose the essence of yourself, because she lost the essence of herself.
Because to me there was no real consequences.
She lost her big sister because of the consequence.
You think?
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
I will call J-Lo her
going
big
back
sister.
to what Elliot said at the start about the
family.
family. They were very much
the Christmas scene.
Oh yeah,
that was family.
They were
outside of that scene, I didn't really get the family.
Do you not?
It was she definitely looked up to her like a big sister.
Because she took her under the wing, saying,
she looked up to her as a mentor. I don't know about big sister.
No, because so she was broke, done, like,
and that's what I was going to
finished.
say. If you look at the scenes of her, was her nan or her aunt as well, so it shows that there's no one around.
Yeah,
she didn't have that,
and she, no actual role models that would actually achieve that she wanted to achieve, or at least do things the way she thought was okay. So even when she was concerned about, oh, we're drugging them, she was like, how are we going to drug them? Are we going to do it in a safe way? But she's like, and then when she had the control of the system in terms of, it's not right, but it's okay. It's okay. Everyone, no one's hurting, no one's going to be a problem. And when progressing forward, it was nice. She understood that space, and she understood. And she wouldn't have done that without her big sister introducing her to that lifestyle. And the only reason she wanted to continue doing it is because her big sister was doing it. And it's only when her big sister was getting greedy is when she was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I guess it's more, I see her as more of like a mentor as opposed to a sister. I didn't really see a sisterhood. There wasn't enough scenes outside of that Christmas one that showed me it's a sister. It's like a mentor, like she's showing her the ropes, and so she's looking up to her, but not. I didn't get that sense.
But just to say off of that, one of the reasons I did get that whole family sort of feeling was, one, because one of the characters was mum, as they called her, I think the sort of the
hostess, the hostess,
the madam,
and and they were all of like kind of like daughters. So that to me is what gave the connotation of sisterhood. Just throwing this out there, was I the only one that wanted to see her mum do a dance?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
You definitely were.
You both know. We all look to you, and I'm right. I don't know what you're doing over there.
No, I literally just threw that in. Just
No. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Don't try it.
I'm not gonna lie.
You want that support. You're not getting it.
Not gonna lie, but she did have some back. No, anyway,
On a side note, I was drinking the paint stripper.
15 minutes later. I love that film, you know. It was great.
And just touching on to the Wall Street guys, some of the bars that we had from them, like the epitome of pricks. You know them. You know, like obviously you have your sort of. I mean, we've had Wolf of Wall Street. We've had Wall Street with Michael Douglas. So you kind of start to paint an image of what those kind of guys in that sort of scenario may be. And obviously it's fabricated, it's film and that, but you do kind of think, obviously making X amount of money, having that kind of importance, but just somewhere like this, the way they were going on. And it's funny because you could even say that obviously it's not Wall Street, but in Joker, you know, the two guys on the train, similar,
guys.
Yeah.
Similar sort of kind of
From the financial district.
Yeah. So like, I was immediately laughing when I think in the sort of opening scene where you see Destiny walking around and he's like, "Hey Lucy Lou," like, you know, they've just just that sort of prickish behaviour. But I liked it. I thought it was a good sort of demographic to go at, the sort of Wall Street guys.
I
didn't feel sorry for him at all.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, I like the fact that you've got one world that seems to be so far apart from another world, but yet they kind of
meet in the middle.
They were married together and kind of needed each other. Yeah, and because you see the change in the whole. With
the crash, innit?
Yeah, with the crash, and then you've got these cheaper Eastern European girls that come in. It's like
I even liked the way they broke down the 3 tiers of Wall Street.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you know what? Quick little bomb for the CEO because he was running things. He was running things.
Disrespect.
Man comes in the back, lifts straight to the top floor
with no cameras.
Start showing. This is my home video. Levels. So what about the other characters? Because I mean, obviously one of the biggest names in this was Cardi B. Like her or love her. I actually thought she was going to be a villain.
But she didn't act.
She wasn't even in it.
Yeah, she was a side.
No, you're missing the whole point.
It was a good thing. Yeah.
She didn't act. She was just being her. Every ever watch her normal Instagram post or anything? Yeah. If you watch a normal Instagram post or whatever,
nope.
I've had the misfortune and sometimes the fortune.
Sometimes
I've been watching her on that Rhythm and Flow.
What's that?
Oh, that's a
reality show on Netflix.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's
trying to find a new
decent.
rapper. It's like a rapper on X Factor.
Trying to find a new rapper. Let that just sink in.
Instead of getting a rapper,
so we've got a show about trying to find a new rapper.
It's actually decent.
Really?
Like,
Is it a decent show?
2019.
You know what? But some people have said it's good. It's like making the band though.
It's
Do you remember
actually
making
decent.
the band? I remember making the band, sending man for cheesecake.
And
hey,
what
listen,
happened to those band members?
Hey, bruv, you got sent for cheesecake. It doesn't matter. I got entertained.
He's
still battle rapping.
Sleeping with his children's.
His son's ex.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
No, he's missing Cassie. Leave him. Anyway, let's
not make the band.
Quick bomb for Alex Fine because man saw the opportunity and. But anyway, I thought Cardi B was going to be a villain. Actually, yeah, I thought she was going to be like the main sort of bad entity in the film, just because of she wasn't featured much, and then I didn't really trust her. I thought she might be the one to
you
like
trust her to
snitch.
act that much?
I didn't know. I didn't know,
Listen,
but obviously,
someone must have. They got J-Lo to headline the film. Let's not talk about. Let's not talk about.
Okay, but we're gonna be honest though. But J-Lo actually, I thought J-Lo carried the film much more than.
Listen to what you're misunderstanding me. Like,
you're so surprised that
I'm well surprised.
Listen to the order you're doing right now.
Listen, I am well surprised.
So you're gonna watch another films now? No, after this. After this. Any films after this film?
Is there a Hustlers 2?
No, but I mean, if she does something else, that's
if she does something else.
Do you know what? I'd love to see a Hustlers 2 London edition. That shit would be a mess.
All it would be, I'm going to fly you to Dubai.
End the film. Roll end credits. But yeah, no, okay, so we've had a laugh and a joke about Cardi B, but there's another cameo which I think, can we just get this out of the way? Because this was one of the parts I just thought, why there was no need.
Because
but
he
I
wanted
get
to
it.
get paid. Man has herpes now. Man has kids for different women that he can't even talk about.
Listen, but it was a good slow-mo.
For goodness, but it was.
It
To be fair,
was a good slow-mo.
It was.
Yeah, but that's a banger of a tune.
If you picture yourself like walking into a strip club, I mean,
And you're hearing your
You're gonna
song.
do it like
you're gonna do
Usher.
it like that, innit?
Yeah, so why are you complaining? Listen, he did it well.
I'm not complaining.
No,
I'm saying
he's
it was a
complaining.
good slow-mo.
He's complaining.
Yeah, because
There
it
was
was
nothing wrong with it. Though.
Nah,
No,
it was,
but
you know what it was? It was
what
one
was
of
it?
them love to hate moments. It's like,
No, it wasn't Marmite.
Usher's in this as well.
Hey,
He's
listen.
walking in, he's smiling, and then not only
The
is he
money, the
not
money.
even the money. Oh, what's your name? Carl, do an impression for me, please. Oh, what's your name?
He can't even do it.
He's got the lowest voice out of all of us. He needs to do it.
Come on,
this style.
Come on.
I can't do it.
You can't do it. Come on. Let's give him a clap. Come on, Carl. I need to hear those two words.
Hi, what's your name?
I'll let him off. We'll get him after the cast. But yeah, it was a bit hokey, man. It was
Okay, it was, but it wasn't.
had to
The way
say
you're saying it is bad. It was actually a decent, entertaining scene.
It was.
Yeah,
I'm not
no, I'll
saying
give
it.
I'll
It
give
was
that.
kind of
It
out of
was
place with the
entertaining.
rest of the film.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
entertaining.
But it was
a
a
entertaining.
good slow-mo.
No.
I'm a sucker for a slow-mo.
It was entertaining. What else was entertaining was Manager Mark. So you see, after we've got from the strip club now, I think this is when the crash happens and they will have to get regular jobs.
You mean the redistribution? Oh no, in the retail shop.
when she's folding clothes.
I thought you were
When
talking
she's
about.
folding clothes.
I thought you were talking about inside. I need my cut.
No,
the doorman needs his cut. No, you're talking about.
I need to leave early.
Do I have kids? Are they my kids?
Why? I think the bar was.
I've got the bar. I've got the bar. The bar was, am I the father? Then why should I
give a shit? Yeah.
But the matter of factly way, the way he dropped that, I was like, yeah.
And he was eating a donut or
He
something
was,
at the
yeah.
time.
He
as well.
didn't even look up.
Bothered.
He didn't even look up.
Bothered. Loved that. Yeah, that made me
If
laugh
you're
a
gonna
bit
drop
too
some
much.
stone cold line like that, that's how you drop it. Facts.
Heartless.
Facts.
Heartless. Yeah. There was a lot of scenes like that in this film, though. That I think, and that's what I think worked in this film. It was quite a serious film if you look at what the girls are doing and the theme of it. But there was a lot of light-hearted comedy and some like sort of feel-good moments. Like with them, I think was it the nan that she lives with.
Yeah.
So when the nan,
Yeah.
I think the Christmas scene when they're talking about Frank Sinatra or someone.
Yeah,
and
the nan's been with
the
Frankie Valley or whatever.
That's it. Frankie Valley.
The nan
Yeah.
was about. She was
Yeah.
living her
I've been with
best
Frankie
young
Valley.
life.
Yeah.
She was like, I need to get it before I need to go back home to do the family thing, but I'm gonna do this thing first.
And you know what? I mean, I don't know about you boys, but you know when you watch films about people getting money or people doing criminality, whatever, The Yard. Loved that.
Yeah,
the
on point.
penthouse with the them Christmas trees you only seen in American films because I ain't never met no one in England that's got a Christmas tree like that. But
the yards ain't big enough.
Them high ceilings.
I'm telling you, that was, and I actually like that scene. I wouldn't say it was my favorite. We'll get into that in a minute. But that scene of the Christmas sort of, when the chips are up, everyone's making money, everyone's happy, and like there was that scene where they were all in J-Lo's apartment, they're all sitting on the couch. It was nice. It was nice.
I know what my funniest scene is now thinking about it. Anyway, let's carry on.
What did you feel though? Like obviously when we start to see them up in the ante and doing the actual hustling, like that drugging thing was mad.
You mean?
Yeah, it's-
No, it wasn't the drugging thing that was mad. It's the fact that they came with a formula to actually say we're gonna try. We tried to bake it. We tried to reduce it with boiling. We tried different methods before we get the correct execution and dosage. I was like, "Raw, is this what criminals do on a daily?"
Of course.
Yeah.
Quality control.
Yeah, going to work.
Hey, listen, I know it's a job. I appreciate that it's a job, but I was like, you know, kind of, you know, drug companies do the same thing and they call it legal work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why don't you just get the legal work and get paid the same P? You get paid more probably if you're in the correct legal company.
Listen, they were moving mad anyway.
No, the extra team assets that they've got, their system was
Nah, the hustle was mad.
Especially
The hustle was
that
mad.
Can I
special
just talk
one.
about the new
Not the girl. Not yet. 2 minutes. We'll get to
the
that.
new girl.
The recruit. The recruit.
The
We'll get to that.
recruit.
We'll
No,
get to
that's
that.
what we're not talking about. The recruit. That's the
All right, let's
one.
talk about it. Let's go. Let's go.
Can I just
Talk
say,
about it.
like, for me, that was the lowest point. You could just see that
Liability.
she was gonna be
Listen, I ain't got the.
She was going to be bad news from. You knew that was it. The beginning of the end.
Didn't even let Easy like she's gonna be okay, and then she just fell off a little bit. No,
You just knew this girl wasn't on the same level.
Listen, I ain't got the ident, but I can do a pretty good impression. Sorry, one. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Oi. Problems. You knew it.
You knew it was problems.
Problems. And Lopez was too hungry for the pee.
Yeah.
He was too hungry for the pee.
She was blinded.
The quality control went down.
Yeah, but I think the voiceover, she said, we're breaking the law. We don't want to work with criminals.
She did say that.
She said.
And I was like, are you people criminals? I was very confused by that statement.
But
That was a bar.
But it is a bar, because it's like when you're blinded by your own action because of
greed,
the money,
yeah.
because of the money's coming in. It's like you start to. I like to. I clock that as well.
Do you know what I also found funny was the two detectives.
Yes.
And they didn't know nothing, and then they heard the story. It's like, bruv, you're just chatting shit.
Yeah.
Typical NYPD cops, innit?
And then my man sees the article in the paper.
He's like, hang on a sec.
This is sounding like
it was when the guy said, he went there 3 times. He must have enjoyed it. Sitting back. Another scene I wanted to tap on. I need to make an ident. We're going to have to make an ident for when you laugh at the wrong moments of a film. Let me see.
Just
who
do
else
the Joker laugh.
Let me see.
It's just
yours.
got to be the
It's
Joker
true.
laugh.
Yeah, it has in it. It has in it. I'll cut that. Who else laughed at the scene? The guy that asked for the blowjob.
But the money.
She said, how much did she say? 150.
No, she didn't say the money. He was like, I have a $300 bills.
That's it.
And dashed it on the floor.
That's it. And the bar was, when I got off the floor, I saw he gave me 3 20s. Give me short change, love.
Do you know
what time?
The game's, but this is what I'm saying. The game's changed. Like with all these films, nothing lasts forever. You know, everything. You know, you have your time, and you got to know when to get in. You got to know when to get out. And this is, you know, even if we're coming on to another film that we're going to talk about later on, but it's everything has its time. You know, and nothing.
Yep.
You know, nothing's certain. You can't think, because I'm doing this today, then it's the whole game had changed, man.
Always
the whole game had changed.
That's
the whole
it.
game had changed.
Always going to get caught.
And do you know what I put for that scene? This is the problem with American currency. It all looks the same.
Yeah.
It's true though. You're right.
No, it's true though. You could never get tricked in England. You know what £20 note is?
Yes.
And you know what £50 note is?
They think our money is pretty.
Because we have, but you see how Carl's going on? Because we have the best money. We speak the best language, and we've got the best currency, and we got the best cuisine.
You say that, but it's the, what is it? It's the 2nd of November. And I don't believe Brexit's happened yet. So
What's that?
We don't even have a parliament at the present time.
What's that?
But anyway, that's
Brexit. Brexit starts and ends in here, mate. I'll tell you that now. Just to flip the script very, very quickly. One of the just before we go into favourite scenes, I'd probably say the most hard hitting scene in the film was when Destiny finds her nan. It was like the whole film is very sort of jokes and lights and and in that scene, I don't know if you remember when she walks into the house and then the nan just passed and it's like silent. That caught me. I was like, ooh. And I enjoyed that because, as I said, the whole film's been hokey and we had the Usher scene and it's lap dance and all that kind of stuff. But in that one scene, I think, and added to the Christmas scene as well, it really, the film did a good job of showing the relationship. Because there wasn't much of it, but the scenes that they were together and obviously giving her the money, and it starts off with her not making much and she gives it all to Nan. I thought that was really, really good. I did enjoy
Talking of
that.
relationships, but the film not making much of it. Was it Destiny Destiny had a child, didn't she?
That's right. Yeah, with the
random
skater
geezer.
guy. Yeah,
with the random geezer.
Like,
they didn't really.
Yeah,
It's like 1 minute she'd met him, and then they had a kid, and
then he dusted.
he was in the film for that.
Yeah.
Favourite scenes?
Favourite scenes. Start to left, Kyle.
The Christmas scene.
Christmas. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
That was a very good scene, and it showed, again, I wrote down at what point does money become irrelevant, because all the gifts they were buying each other it held no weight anymore.
No, it's true.
It didn't matter.
I thought the chinchilla coat held weight for her. Because
Do you know what?
She elevated it to a level of I respect you so much. I'm gonna give you the same that I've got.
I'm glad you mentioned chinchilla.
It's always the chinchilla coats, isn't it?
I wrote chinchilla fur coat. I bet Petter loved that.
do you know what? It's always the coats.
It is always the coat.
Frank, what's his name?
Don't say Frank Lucas.
Yeah, Frank
Lucas.
I still feel for him, you know. I still feel for him.
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
What? Give me that. Get that off. Get that off.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you? And then this as well.
Do you know? Have you ever seen a chinchilla?
How much does one actually cost? Just out of interest.
I don't know. I think they cost a lot of money, but whatever that means.
Innit?
But chinchilla fur, because the animal's quite a rare animal. I was lucky enough to see a real chinchilla. I think I'm going to fact check it by the end of the cast, but I think they're from somewhere in South America. Argentina's sticking out in my head. But do you remember this guy? This is a little bit off topic. Do you remember the guy that used to come to schools of the animals?
Yeah.
Because that one guy went to every fucking school in London or in the world.
I'm gonna say no because I only remember a guy.
You didn't go to school. Is that what you're gonna tell me?
I remember. Well,
because that's why you can't read.
Well, no. I can read. I read at the Murray level of skill and deception. Okay, and keyword was deception. Because
You're a Decepticon.
No. I'm a Decepticon posing as an Autobot, posing as a Decepticon,
As a human.
posing as an android.
But yeah, he came one time with this chinchilla, and I remember him going on about this rare endangered species. And it was the first time I even heard the word. And then obviously I was a child at the time, but as I've grown up, I've heard chinchilla fur coats quite a lot. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's peak for the chinchilla.
It's true. They're probably not still endangered anymore. They're done.
Dodo.
That's mad. That's
Finished.
Nah, it's deep.
Amari, what was your scene?
mad. To be honest, it's actually a raw scene.
Go
It's
for
the
it.
naked guy. Oh, you don't remember the scene?
I don't remember this. The naked guy.
My favorite scene
Oh,
was
the
when
swimming
she
pool.
was calling
The swimming
because
pool.
our best friend, the druggy cocaine girl, was supposed to be doing this hustle.
Which part of the scene though?
The whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing. It was mad. It was
the whole
mad.
thing was madness.
It was
so
mad.
the druggy cocaine girl, the guy's now fucked, half in the pool, half dead. Oh, cool for you, Bob. I'm supposed to be looking after my kids. She's not answering. Cool for you, Bob. Look after my. Cool for you, Bob. Fine, I'm coming. Trying to save her, trying to save the guy. Drives up to the hospital. My girl runs out, drops on the pavement. They banged into that 15 times in the first place.
Mad.
And then she calls the girl and says, "What you doing?" "Oh, I'm looking after cocaine girl." I was like, bruh.
Yeah, that was like,
and that was her line as well. That was it. That's what killed the whole.
That was a good scene actually. Again, it's that sort of like beginning of the end kind of
that was the
taking your foot off the gas, quality control lowered. Giles, favourite scene?
My favourite scene was when they was trying to get their drug, when they was mixing the drug and trying to get
In
the
the kitchen.
recipe correct.
Yeah.
That
with the right process.
yeah. Because there was a bit where I think they put too much in.
And they knocked out the house.
They're just sitting there like asleep. Yeah, that was my favourite scene because I could,
It was very well shot. Very well shot. And again, it was very realistic in the
Yes.
sense of you can imagine, like, if we was in that predicament, we'd do the same thing.
because you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
It's
Realistic.
it reminded me of this is why you should have paid attention in science.
Mine was outside of the J-Lo scene, obviously showing the different moves, was the end where they're all getting nabbed. And it was, I think it's Lord. It's a Lord tune called Royal. Royal. You know that tune?
Yeah.
And they're all like slow-mo.
Yeah.
They're all like I think the...
She texts her, didn't she? She texts her and says
saying run.
That's it. Yeah.
And then she's like, "What does run mean?"
Yeah.
Doesn't get it.
Doesn't get it.
Too late.
And then you see the fit again. It's a classic
You see the
sort of...
silhouette of them.
Yeah, we've seen
outside,
it in so many films
That's
before.
that's why I'm surprised that was your favorite scene. I've seen this all before.
But I liked it. Because I knew it was coming, and again, maybe it was the track. I thought the track went well with the scene. I liked the different dynamics in how each person was getting nabbed. Like, that was a good scene. I enjoyed it.
You've only spoke favourable about the film. It's concerning.
Well, Jesus. Well,
He did say he was entertained, yeah?
I was entertained.
I
yeah.
was.
no,
we
he said-
all were entertained,
okay.
but we haven't said one bad thing about the film.
Well, I did.
Oh, no.
I mean, we can do that in the wrap up. Because it's that time anyway. So, seeing as you've quite nicely.
Unfortunately, I haven't got it in my wrap up, but yeah, it's 3 stars. Easy to watch, easy to recommend. Solid performances all round. Nothing that I haven't seen before. but it was still enjoyable. It reminded me of a film by Sofia Coppola, The Bling Ring. I don't know if any of you lot watched that.
No, I've not seen that.
Is that the one? Is that the UK one? If I'm thinking, no.
No. This is where these girls go into rich celebrities' houses and start stealing all of their jewelry and stuff.
Oh wow.
That's a true story.
Get a job, go to work,
Because all
pay
these
your taxes.
But then, to be fair though,
Happy ever after.
basically all these celebrities that live in Hollywood Hills, their doors are never locked.
that's right.
So
Yeah,
then
I've heard that.
they start off at Paris Hilton's house. They just walk in,
Hey,
start
Amari,
wearing their clothes.
I've got a couple of days off next week. Can you get that flight changed
Yeah,
from
rerouted.
Mexico to Cali? Like, getting a few ideas over here.
Possibly.
But it remind if you lot watch that, that's good film as well. It reminded me a lot like that.
What's it called?
The Bling Ring.
The Bling Ring.
Yeah, The Bling Ring. I like seeing the different perspective of the world of stripping and also the psychology behind the money making. And it was good just to see the human side of strippers. They're going through different. Obviously, if you've ever been to a strip, you never think about these women in a particular way.
Have you ever been to a strip club, Carl?
Maybe not.
I said maybe. you know that scene at The Simpsons when Grandpa goes to the club and Bart's there and he sees him and just does the 180 and walks out.
Puts his hat back on.
One
Takes his hat
time.
off, puts his hat back on and goes out.
Mad.
Well, yeah, and it looked at greed from a female's perspective, which I haven't really seen much in film when I was thinking about it. So that was good. There were a few things where I didn't like the fact that they kept, even though they showed the hustle of them drugging the same guys, they kept showing the same scene, the same bar, the same drink. It got a bit repetitive. Didn't like that. But yeah, that's why I gave 3 stars.
3 stars from Carl. Amari, what's your star rating?
I'm just thinking about the opening scene. Give me a minute.
Don't tell me you're going to give it an extra star just for the opening scene.
Hey, trust me.
This is not The Dark Knight. This is not The Dark
Who's
Knight.
giving it 1 star?
You really can't. But I'm thinking about, can I really do that? 'Cause-
You can. It's your rating. Your rating's your rating.
No. I was like, can I do that? Look at myself in the mirror. That's
Yeah,
what,
that's the
that's
real
what I care
question.
about. Can
That's
I look
the
at
real
myself in the mirror
question.
after doing something? Yeah, he got 3 stars.
Yeah.
He would have got 4 if he gave me more of the first 10 minutes for 15, 20 minutes. Because trust me.
Well, there's always showgirls.
Wow. Anyway, so there was to be fair, J-Lo stood out, which is very surprising because, as Stiles has mentioned, her acting ability is poor. However,
Very, very poor.
Really?
However, it wasn't. I thought that she acted like this in Made in Manhattan, and the reason why I'm harping on about this film is because when you don't want to watch a film, but you want to put a film on, and you want to be, when you was doing your love and basketball and your save the last dance behavior, but you had to have a different alternative. That was a good alternative, and I saw her in that, and it could be put on, so that was good. Now, about the rest of the film.
Man just took J-Lo out of it, rated it, and now he's going to talk about it. Love that.
I didn't really like the scenes in the strip club because I was kind of like, so this is how the strip club world. So you have to pay off the people. All right, cool. But what's next? Like them getting regular jobs. What happened to the rest of them? How did the other 3 of them get caught up into doing the drugging life? I was like, that's a bit weird. Like I don't understand how you get from dancing to wanting to drug someone to make money without a path. So I was missing the path.
So you wanted a bit more depth. I can
I
agree
wanted
with
depth for that part.
I can agree with that.
I did like the soundtrack.
Yeah, but remember,
banged.
remember that the game has changed.
Oh no, I repeatedly understood the game has changed because obviously when the Russian strippers came in and I was like, bruh,
They took the game back to where it was.
you're not excited, man. Trust me.
Drakes. That was the next game. That was the real game.
That was mad. But I was just I missed that part and I just wanted. I don't know who I wanted it from. I don't know. Yeah, I think I wanted more stripping. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me just say how it is.
If there was more stripping, you'd give it 4 stars. You could have said that in 2 sentences.
Straight 3 stars from Amari. J-Lo, star rating.
Yeah, like I said, this film, I wasn't at all interested, and I've done this before with films, and I've been pleasantly surprised. And I was pleasantly surprised again. Stripping is something like I've got no interest in it whatsoever. Yes, I've been to a strip bar.
Gentleman's Club.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for giving me that correct term. I've been to a gentleman's club, but it's. I just think they're pointless. I'm going to pay you to take your clothes off.
To be fair, it sounds wild.
Like, it's
a
To
wild.
be even more honest, I can do that myself for free, mate.
Exactly. Look in the mirror. Why am I paying you to take your clothes off? Like,
Put a tune on, dance as I'm doing it. Like.
for me, it's just the craziest concept. However, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. I like the story. I like the fact that it was based off a real, something that actually happened.
It always adds another sense of
As opposed to just
a make-believe story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just random characters. But these are, it's when they say based off a true story, there's always going to be embellishment and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But still, and then I did a bit of reading about the actual article and the fact that it's not only kind of Wall Street guys that get caught up in these scandals. A lot of sports, especially in America, like NBA players, NFL players, they get caught up in all this mad world that kind of doesn't seem to have any kind of, like you said, Carl, there was no really serious ramifications of their actions because it's like everyone's kind of doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing anyway. There's police officials that get, politicians, all the rest of it. So I thought it was a good kind of insight into that world. But I didn't really think the film was going to be about that, So for me, it's a solid 3 stars.
Three stars. Yeah, and you know what? I'll just get out now. 3 stars from me as well. For me, it was all the things you've mentioned, but to answer your question, Carl, and obviously we didn't say too much like negative about it. There wasn't much negative we said earlier on about the film. My only reasons as to what I won't even say 5 because the 5 that's a different realm. But for a 4-star, I think it's like Amari said. I would have wanted a bit more depth, a bit more character exploration, and maybe some sort of present day / what happened after you've done all of this. Like even, for example, off the top of my head, Pain and Gain. Similar sort of thing with not as much flashbacks, but it's like you see what happens. They do all this mad stuff, but then at the end of the film, it's only like a quick scene. But I think David Lugar, I think his name is, the main guy that Mark Wahlberg plays, he gets the death sentence and The Rock gets like a life imprisonment. So there was still some sort of, and then you get this is based off a true story, and then you love when they show the real photos at the end and all that. So that kind of stuff for me, if they'd done something
merged a lot
similar.
of characters for that film.
Yes, they did.
They merged a lot of characters.
Michael Bay to really, again, it's that embellishment.
Good film,
and
though.
Very good. Very good.
About Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
Nah, if they did the pictures at the end, I feel like it's weird because when you watch a film, pictures at the end, they sell the film
does.
a lot.
It
It's
does.
as a wrap up. You're like,
It does.
oh, what does this person look like? Because I remember even before we came here today, I watched Coach Carr, and I remember at the end of the film on the DVD version, it shows the pictures of all the different people how they actually looked and stuff. It's like, oh, this is actually not bad character looking kind of matching. So I was like, those kind of, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing at the same time.
And
Especially if you're talking about a true story.
Yeah,
Well, this
if
is it.
you're
Yeah.
basing
This
on
is
the
it.
true story.
But Pain and Gain, they look completely
Yeah,
different.
I know.
I mean,
There's a lot of embellishment in
There
Pain
is.
and Gain.
But it worked.
It's a lie.
But it worked.
It did work.
so I say all of that to say, had there been a little bit more in terms of like the link between the sort of the real story, that would have pushed up for me. J-Lo, this is probably one of her best performances that I've seen.
One of her
think
best performances.
I
Made
think
in
Out
Manhattan
of Sight is her best performance.
I need to see. I haven't seen it, so
Classic. That's actually a classic
Oh,
film.
yeah,
I'll
it's good-
definitely
it's good
watch.
about that again.
I'll
I
definitely
told you,
watch.
Made in Manhattan is the best performance. I already told you why.
But that's only.
Hang on,
that's
can I just?
all I can go off.
Are we really debating
J-Lo.
J-Lo's best?
Yes.
Those movie reviews, guys.
What is anyway?
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
It must be Halloween.
I watch. No. Respect Made in Manhattan. You know Ralph Fiennes can act.
Yes.
Rafe.
Ralph.
Is it Rafe or Ralph? I hear Ralph.
I hear Ralph.
Ralph.
I hear Ralph from that.
It's rough, yeah.
Alright.
But-
You can say Rafe, but anyway.
Anyway, so for that reason, as I said,
Man, sent waves.
I missed that one. What was that?
I caught that slide.
I'm
one
a
there.
quiet guy.
You're not.
I am.
can I just get
Hashtag.
my stars out, please? I just want to press this button and move on. You know.
Push it.
Thank you.
Push the
TMRG
button.
star rating for Hustlers
Push
is
the button.
3 stars, and that's a tune, by the way. That is a tune. Can I just?
Trust me, we're not playing with sugar babes. I listen.
Sorry, just a little caveat on Ralph Fiennes. If you say Ralph Fiennes, you're wrong. His name is Welsh. It's pronounced Rafe Fiennes. Just wanted to get that out.
That's good. That's good.
Just wanted to get that out.
That's
there.
good for Ewan, Evan, whatever all them other Welsh names are. But I'm not Welsh, so it's Ralph.
Just saying. Just saying. It's Rafe.
Speak Queens in here, mate.
R-A-F-E.
Giles, you got a question?
I have. I've got a query. So this is a film about strippers. Yeah?
I love these questions.
This is a film about strippers, yeah? Mm-hmm. So how did we go the whole film with J-Lo stripping but she was fully clothed? How does that work?
So you didn't see Jello stripping? You missed the first 10 minutes.
missed
There you
it.
go.
No.
You missed it.
She stripped in the first 10 minutes.
Yes. Yeah.
Fully stripped.
Of course not. Behave yourself.
There you go.
And it's
15
not
man.
then. Nah. If we're stripping, then we're stripping.
This is not.
If we're stripping, we're stripping.
This is
It's not 18 though.
stripping.
It's
Hey,
not
bruv, this
18.
is not.
Stripping, we're stripping.
This is not Black Jack.
If we're stripping,
this is
we're
not
stripping.
Black Jack with a bow.
You know,
bow
but
heading
you know
home
what?
stripping.
But you know what?
Just
It's a
because
good thing.
you've seen her do like, she probably did like some slow seductive dance.
Nah, you need to watch
Hey,
that.
listen.
I'm telling you.
But you know
I'll get the
what?
scene up now. You know I can.
But you know what?
Nah, that scene.
I'm glad
scene, man.
I'm
You
get
glad
to
he
see
didn't
that.
actually see that scene, because by you saying that, I know that when it got to the end of the dance, he would have stood up and gone, this is nonsense. I want my money back. Give me a refund. I see nothing. No flesh. There's more flesh on my wrist.
So did you actually see anything?
Man said his whole.
No,
It's a
yeah,
15.
You
It's a
saw
15.
enough. You saw enough.
You saw
I saw
enough.
everything I wanted to in my mind.
Exactly. Anyway, my question's still
Oh, wait, to be
stands.
fair, no, say that.
Hang on,
Lizzo was doing a
I'm
lot
just going to
with her
find my
craving.
Ray Fiennes. Let me see what he reckons.
Right. I'm sorry to do this. I'm sorry to do this.
Sorry, don't be sorry.
I'm sorry to do this, and I know he's not. Wait, anyway, let's get to it.
Just
Let's get to
get
it.
on
The way, look at Carl's
I'm
face.
confused right now.
Oh, there.
Those movie review guys.
Subscribe to the podcast and stream full episodes on all major platforms.